think of it? Well, it should come as no surprise after Tim Burton's 2007 adaptation of Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street, just slitting throats and putting them down to the pie shop and singing and singing and singing and, well, singing, I guess. So this brings me to my next film, Public Enemies. What did I think of it? I thought it was pretty good. Though there were some things I really had to complain about. Well, let's save it for later. Let's talk about the film and keep it brief with the story. Well, it's a mafia film and a shoot 'em up. And actually a pretty fun one, I must say. Johnny Depp and Christian Bale brought together for, actually I think it's the first time, I'm pretty sure. And they actually went together pretty well. I didn't think it would work too well, but Christian Bale, I already said before that in Terminator Salvation, he has the ability to try a little bit too hard, especially with Batman, how he always growls like a dog when he plays Batman, but he pulls it off quite well, I must say. With Terminator Salvation, I think he pulled it off a lot better. But the story is kept at minimal with the twists and turns and complication, much unlike Road to Perdition, but there's not much of really a twisted story to this film, but that one has more of a twist to it, and it reminded me a lot of it. Why is that, you may ask? Well, because this film actually takes place during the Great Depression, just like that one. Only this one revolves mainly around just a serial killer and a crazed maniac, and of course, a bank robber. He robs banks and nobody can hold him. No police, no maximum security prison. He always has the attempts and he always has the ability to escape any prison possible. And always manages to blend in with the crowds and always manages never to get caught. That's what I was really amazed by, is how many times he manages to escape the police and manages to have so many people surrounding him. Whether he's in a movie theater and he's shown right on the big screen as one of the top most wanted criminals of the Public Enemies gang. Well, I must say, that was incredible that he didn't get caught. Even though everybody was saying, look to your left and look to your right, he could be anywhere. So I must say this film had a few twists and turns to it. I was just amazed of how he had the balls to actually say to some girl when he first meets her that he actually robs banks in front of so many people. I was amazed. But Christian Bale is obviously the one that we're not rooting for, and I'm actually, in this film, I was rooting for this guy, and he was pretty damn good. He surprised me pretty well. I'm always impressed with his acting. He could just do just about anything. He plays anybody, including a guy with scissors, a guy who slits throats, and a guy who robs banks. Well, nothing to say there. Christian Bale is the guy who tries to trace him down, and they put their fate in him. Well, it's what you'd expect. It's a pretty obvious ending, but I'm not going to try to spoil too much. But the real scene I was really amazed with is how he walks into a police station and sees him on the top most wanted list. He sees everybody else deceased who's part of his gang, and he's obviously the next one to be killed or either captured, either one. The real thing I really had to complain about, like I said, is how many times and how invincible he is to the police and the authorities. And that's really a weird coincidence with Christian Bale. Christian Bale's the one who's a crime fighter and he's trying to capture him. It reminds me a lot of The Dark Knight, of how the villain is the most invincible. Only this film, we're obviously rooting for this one more than just the Joker. We're not rooting for this guy to get captured, even though it's pretty obvious he is. So in most cases, this film was fun. A lot of shooting scenes, a lot of, well, not so much blood as much as Sweeney Todd. I must say Sweeney Todd is probably Johnny Depp's most bloodiest. But if you expect a lot of shooting, well, you're going to get a lot of it. So in most cases, it was fun to watch, and the shooting scenes were obviously the fast pacers of this film. So it's got plenty of action to go, and of course plenty of sex as well, but not too much of that. I try not to get too carried away with those scenes. So, and there was plenty of humor, of course, especially when he's in the vehicle and singing "Get her dog, little Lammy," and I was laughing pretty damn hard. So in most cases, it was pretty good. The one thing I really had to complain about was with the camera angling. It really kind of made my head start throbbing. It's kind of like I was watching Cloverfield because it got shaky at some parts. I mean, really, I don't know what was up with the cameraman, but for most cases, I'll have to try to ignore that and just enjoy the film, the shooting, and the violence, and good fun out of a great mafia film. I wouldn't say it's fantastic as much as Goodfellas, Casino, or The Departed, but it got the job done pretty damn well. So, I give it just a plain 2-wheel remote sup. So, till next time, keep watching.
Get